Well, hey, good Monday morning, everybody. TGIM. Thank God it's Monday. It's a way healthier opinion, in my opinion, than TGIF. Most of us get our shit done Monday through Friday, and that's what we should be looking forward to: is making our lives better, not to the weekend. It's good if you can look forward to all 7 days and not just 2 of the 7. I am smoking my regular old Wyoming meerschaum. And I'm doing Pipe Force 3 again. It's like 3-4 days in a row now, but I like it, and I got to finish. The first 10 is just about up. It was kind of funny how some of you jumped on it and said, hey, I bought a 10 and I didn't get a challenge coin in mine. So apparently they didn't put a challenge coin in every 10. That's crazy, because I've opened 2 and I've gotten 2 challenge coins. So that's why I said that. As you can tell, no fire for the fireside chat today. I've been too busy. So with the tree project behind me, that set me back about 6 weeks on my AI trading bot learning process. So I'm spending 2-3 hours a day learning the trading bot before I kick off the first trade. So that's kind of how I do things. I got to learn as much as I can before I actually kick one off. So that's what I've been doing. Oh, and hey, I'm warning you, for some of you, this is a favorite line in my videos. My tobacco portion here. The tobacco portion of this video is over. So if you turn to my channel strictly for pipes, cigars, tobacco, this is a good time to step away. The rest of this video has nothing to do with tobacco. So you've been warned. All right, so if you're a tobacco only person, I'm assuming you've left and you won't be offended by the rest of this conversation. So yeah, I've had a couple of great questions in the last couple of days. So I just want to go through them because they'll spark some general good conversation here. The first one came from Mark Welch Piper about these black marks on here, like what's going on with my fireplace. And it gets smoked up like that. That is not flames, that is smoke. When I open these gates to tend the fire or put more in the fire, whatever, smoke will roll out, and over the course of 20 years it just leaves these black marks. It's the same on the other side. The other way smoke can come out of here is it's very sensitive whether these doors are closed or not. So if the other side of the doors are open, smoke will roll out this side. And if these doors are open, smoke will roll out the back side. So, and then the third way is I burn all my cardboard, like I told you yesterday. And if I pile a lot of cardboard in there, some of the smoke will roll out over the sides. And so anyway, what you're seeing right here is smoke damage, not fire damage. Thing works great. I've gotten more intelligent about what causes smoke to roll out up there, so try to manage it much better than I used to the first couple of years. The second thing I want to talk about is election prep. And tomorrow's election day. Really, no shit, Dave. Like the whole world doesn't know that. But my point being, we have no real input into how the election is going to go. We cast our votes. The election goes the way it goes. The timing of the election results goes the way it goes. And the population's response to the results and the way the results roll out over tomorrow and probably the next several days, weeks, months, whatever, we have no control over that, right? So that's that. You can worry globally, but I want you to think and plan and prep locally. And what does that mean? So that means I got a great text from my wife this morning. I'm here in Wyoming. She's in Maryland. And on her own, she said, hey, Dave, I went out and did some election day grocery shopping. And the point I want to make to you today, through today and into early tomorrow, maybe certainly by noon or 2 or 3 o'clock tomorrow, is how long can you stay in your house if things go just a little wonky out there, right? I'm not talking about, shit hits the fan. I'm not talking about going Mad Max. I'm just thinking things could get weird out in the cities and towns for a while, depending on how the election results go and how people choose to respond to it. Either way, this is not a Trump Kamala Harris thing at all. This is, could you not put yourself, your wife, your kids into the need to go to the grocery store or go to the bank if things are a little wonky? And my advice to you would be, get some grocery shopping today. Plug up the holes, pull a little cash out of the bank, put that in the drawer. And it may not be needed, right? I always said about preps, I'm okay if we do this and it's not needed. You're going to eat the food anyway. You're going to drink the drinks anyway. And you can put the cash back in the bank if you choose to. My only point being, could you stay home? Could you keep your wife from needing to go out? Could you keep your kids from needing to go out if things go wonky, particularly in the cities? If you live in a big city, if you live near them in the suburbs, things went a little screwy a few years ago. They might again. So just be able to sit home and watch it on TV, or watch it on YouTube or however you consume your information. Give yourself the freedom, the peace of mind of when you go to bed tonight, hey, shit can go a little wonky next tomorrow and nobody has to leave the house. And so I'm proud of my wife for doing that on her own. I'm heading out. Part of the reason I didn't start a fire is I'm doing this video and I'm heading to town, finish up, plug a few holes in my groceries, and then, have a cigar with my boys. And it's interesting. A lot of my guys are gone now. Mark's gone back to California for the season. Walter's gone back to Virginia for the season. Pete's traveling. He went to Boston to help his daughter out. And now he's in Isla Morada down in the Keys. He'll be gone another week. And then another guy, John, just left today. He's going to be gone a week and a half. So 4 or 5 of my closest friends are out the door, some for the season, some for a week or two. So it's quiet. It's quiet in town, it's quiet on the roads, and it's quiet in the lounge. So it's kind of fun, actually. It's nice to have a little bit of quiet. So I had another great question come in. It was actually 2 questions from the same guy. And he asked me, what are my thoughts on perimeter monitoring at your house? And then, do I think things are going to slide sideways in our society in our generation? I thought that fit fairly well with my advice to get out and get election day prep. So we're going to talk about those 2 questions. The first one is, what is my opinion on perimeter monitoring? And I believe it is foolish not to have some perimeter monitoring on your house. Whether it's a driveway cam, some outdoor cams, an indoor cam, I don't really care what you do or how you do it. It could be a ring cam, a ring doorbell. It could be something that gives you some notification. Motion lights is another great one. So in my home in Maryland, at my farm in Maryland, and here at this house in Wyoming, we have camera systems set up. Ring cameras work great. ADT if you want to go professional. Alter Guard is another one. I use those. So, and at my paddock, my car warehouse in Maryland, all has door alarms, window alarms, noise alarm, breakage alarms, motion alarms are all there. Plus I have outdoor and indoor cameras at all my locations. So, and they all feed directly to the net so that, if somebody were to break in and go immediately to a server and break it, I don't lose all my monitoring. So, we have motion lights in several of the places. So, I believe that part of being ready, in addition to water and food and not living in the city and having some weapons to protect yourself and having enough ammunition in case you get into a real situation, you give yourself some warning, give yourself some pre-notification, and that's through perimeter monitoring. And I use motion lights and internet-based cameras for that. So that's just, I wanted to answer that question and get out there. I believe if you have no monitoring of your perimeter of any kind, I believe that to be foolish and naive. I'll just say it out loud. Don't mean to offend anybody, but my video, my channel, my opinion, that's what it is. If you don't have some, get it. It's super easy. Go buy a set of Ring cameras. You can go down to Walmart and pick something up. You can order on Amazon, have it tomorrow. So, kind of get on it. So that's the answer to that question about my opinion and what I choose to do for perimeter monitoring. It's a critical component of my protection of my family and myself. All right, guys, the last question I want to address is, do I think our society is going to slide sideways or kind of go badly, go poorly, fairly substantially in the next generation? And my answer is I do believe that. One of the core reasons I believe is a book I read called The Fourth Turning. You can buy it on Amazon. I just looked it up. It's like $12. And the Fourth Turning talks about 4 generations between every catastrophe before you have really a societal reset. So if you multiply the 4 generations, it's an 80-year grand cycle. And if you go back 80 years ago, World War II is what happened. If you go back 80 years before that, the Civil War was the crisis. And if you go back 80 years before that, it was the Revolutionary War. We are sitting at pretty much year 80. We're in the 4th generation. We're in the 4th turning. I'm not saying it's going to happen this year or next year, but certainly over the next, the question I was asked was in this current generation, meaning in the next 20 years. And yeah, I do believe we're going to have a major reset. It could come much sooner than the next 10 or 15 years. It could come in the next 2 or 3. I can't discuss specific timing. I don't know it. But I do know that we are in the 4th generation of the 4th turning concept. And it's from the beginning of our country through today, it's proven to be a very accurate cycle. And it kind of follows the old adage of, tough times make tough men make soft times make soft men make hard times. We are obviously, if you're paying attention at all, we are in a generation now of soft men, and we are brewing hard times because of it. We have softened our military. We have softened our societal image of men, of masculinity, of weaponry, of self-protection, of any sort of legal violence. We've washed all of the way. We have softened our society to a point that I'm kind of sick when I think about it, and I find it very upsetting. What that tells me is we are ready for the crash. We are ready for society to crash because of its softness and have a reset moment. It's usually war. When all else fails, they lead you to war. And there's that clear cycle from the Revolutionary War to the Civil War to World War II to where we stand today. And if you don't think this world's headed towards war, you're just not paying attention. So that's my answer. Yes, I believe we are headed towards a sideways to major collapse event, major catastrophe event in the next few years. From 1 to 20 years. I don't know what year it's going to happen, but I believe we are perfectly positioned for that 4th turning event. So read the book. Doesn't take that long to read. I found it fascinating. The 4th turning. $12 on Amazon. Guys, that's it. I got to head to town. Got to do some of the things I just said you should do. So got to walk my talk. So hope you have a great Monday. Hope you got a great week planned in front of you. I hope you know what this week is going to bring you. Shouldn't have too many surprises. So, guys, that's it. We'll be back tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to get back here today. So have a great Monday. Finish it up strong. Get some preps in the door before you go to bed. Wake up tomorrow ready for whatever does happen. And hopefully it's nothing. And we will talk again tomorrow. Bye, everybody.